Howdy everyone, my name is Ryan Gillum and this is my ESI report on freshwater ecosystems and conservation. The presentation that I attended was Julian D. Olen's presentation on the status of river protection in America and its effectiveness. He has a PhD in aquatic and fishery sciences from the University of Washington, and in this presentation I will highlight the key topics of this presentation and how I personally reacted to them. And at the end, I will sum up my reactions to these topics and how they relate to our classroom discussions. As we move into our first topic that Dr. Olen covered, it was the decline in river health in America. Dr. Olen highlighted that many rivers in America are experiencing a decline in their health, largely due to population, habitat degradation, and climate change. Rivers such as the Colorado, Mississippi, and our very own Rio Grande are particularly affected. These rivers serve as lifelines to surrounding communities, yet they face such challenges such as over-extraction of water, industrial discharge, agricultural runoff, and invasive species. After hearing this, I was shocked that our rivers are declining at such a rapid rate, and his message made me realize what we are doing to our water and brought the question of how do we protect and conserve our rivers to keep them safe and usable for not only us, but the wildlife that live in these waters. The next topic he covered was pollution and water quality. One of the main issues Dr. Olen focused on was pollution contaminants from agricultural activities, industrial processes, and urban runoff have led to poor water quality in many rivers. This pollution not only harms aquatic life, but it also affects the people who rely on these rivers for drinking water and irrigation. Nutrient pollution, often from fertilizers and sewage, have contributed to the formation of dead zones in some rivers where the oxygen levels are so low that the aquatic life cannot survive. After I heard this, I could not help but think how we're going to be able to fix this issue, because if we pollute our water, what is it going to do to the wildlife that live in these waters? And better yet, our personal health. The call to action really gave me motivation to do what I can to help fix this issue. Rolling into the third and final topic that Dr. Olen discussed, he covered what his restoration efforts and solutions could be. Despite the challenges, Dr. Olen was optimistic about the future. He discussed several successful restoration projects where communities, scientists, and policymakers work together to restore rivers to a healthier state, to make them usable for not only us, but the wildlife that lives within them. These projects include removing dams, reintroducing native species, and implementing better water management practices. For instance, efforts to remove the Elwood Dam in Washington State have allowed the Elwood River to regain its natural flow, and this improved the salmon populations, and it demonstrated a very positive impact on the ecosystem restoration. Dr. Olen also stressed the importance of collaboration among stakeholders. Governments, local communities, environmental organizations, and industries must work together to create sustainable practices and more investment in research to monitor river health. After this was said, I think these practices will be very beneficial to our freshwater rivers and help restore and conserve them to where they need to be to continue the life and usability of these specific rivers, so we can continue using them and not break them down to where we eventually cannot. All of these topics, in conclusion, I believe all of these topics play a pivotal role in our classroom discussions as they highlight how we use the water, what we are doing to our freshwater rivers, and how we can attempt to conserve them and elongate the life of the river. We discuss these things every time we go to the classroom, and I think it will be very beneficial to help conserve and revive our freshwater rivers, as it's not just us that use them, but the wildlife that lives in them too. I hope you enjoyed my ESI oral report on Julian D. Olen's presentation on the status of rivers in America, and I hope you find this educating and persuasive to help conserve our freshwater rivers. Thanks, and giggle.